Hi, my name is Chukwemeka. Now this is the final version of the video I did on how to recognize and differentiate between the worship of the one true God and Alusi worship in Igbo tradition. The reason I'm bringing this out is because I have no doubt in my mind, based on what I've studied, that the Igbo tradition is the true biblical tradition. There's no doubt about that. And anyone who has followed my videos, who has gotten rid of all the biases we were taught growing up and in Christian churches, will realize that this is true. The truth remains that most of our people are scared because we know that right now in the communities, in our communities, there are evil people that have permeated everything we do. These evil people have brought in evil worship, Alusi worship. But I want to tell brothers and sisters, the reason evil men triumph is because good men do nothing. And if we stand up and go back to our tradition, the evil ones will cower down and disappear. We owe it to our future generation to take back what is ours so that we can hand it over to them just as our ancestors left it for us. So going back to this discussion now, like I said in the first video, to understand the entirety of the worship of the one true God in Igbo tradition, you have to understand Igbo mysticism. What is mysticism? Mysticism basically is a collection of mysteries. A mystery is something that is not easily understood, something that requires deep meditation, deep concentration, deep studies to understand. And even at that, you may not really be able to fully understand it. That is what is required to understand the video I'm going to do today. And I will not try to reinvent the wheel. Everything I'm saying today, actually, while I was doing the study for this, I came across a video of a brother who made a video of something similar. And even though he didn't go into too much details, but when I saw his video, I used his material and I went home. I asked a whole lot of older people in my communities and neighboring communities, and they confirmed what he's saying. And that's about what I'm going to tell you guys today. The brother's name is called Ezioku Chineke Gadi. And children of God, I want to take out a few minutes and really talk about this brother. He does his videos in Igbo language, and that is really awesome. Brothers and sisters, this brother knows what he's talking about. I have seen every one of his videos, every one of them. And he has his number in his video, so I called him and we had a conversation. And I will encourage each and every one of you to at least call him or encourage him, because we need people on the ground. We need soldiers and foot soldiers that will be running around and doing this thing. We need to encourage our own. What we're trying to do here is to preserve our own. We're not trying to take what is not ours. We're trying to preserve our own. The interesting thing is that he does not talk about biblical perspective. He just talk about Igbo tradition. But if you understand his videos and you look at my videos, you see complete agreement. That's what I've been saying, that whether you're looking at the Igbo tradition from biblical perspective or from a secular perspective, the conclusion will be the same thing. We are the true people of the Bible. It doesn't matter what direction you look at it. So I will encourage you, brothers and sisters, let us encourage our own. If you have the time or if you can, give these brothers a call, give him any support, encourage him to keep doing what he's doing. So I'm showing his video here. This is his channel, and if you open any of his videos, you can see his cell phone number. You can call him and you can get clarification. When I called him, we discussed to an extent. First of all, he stated that he did a number of videos that talked about the 4 market days in Igbo land. In the first video of this series, I mentioned that when I was researching the 4 market days, I was confused why, if you go to Igala and Idoma, they have these same 4 market days. And I also noticed that it's the Igbo tribes that live close to Igala, that is the Delta, the Anambra, and the Enugu, that tend to bear these names of these 4 market days. And that's just the way it is in Igbo land. They tend to bear Nwankwo, Nweke, Okeke, Okoye, and the rest of them. But when I saw his video, I had a change of mind, because when I now, in that video, he mentioned that these 4 market days represent the 4 spirits which forms the foundation of Igbo tradition. In one of his videos, he stated that I went to my village. I went to one of the elders that's in charge of the Ajana in my community, and I had a conversation with him, and I told him to explain the 4 market days to me. Brothers and sisters, let me look at my notes here, because I want to tell you what he told me. This old man, the old man is like partially blind actually, and he's much older than my grandmother, and my grandmother is in her 80s. What the man told me is that the 4 market days is the foundation of our tradition. Let me say it in Igbo. Ụbọchị na-anọ wu mgbọrọgwụ omenani. Brothers and sisters, this man has never seen YouTube video. He doesn't even know what a computer is. But he told me exactly what this guy has in his videos. The 4 market days is the foundation of our tradition, the foundation of our earth, our universe. Is represented by these 4 spirits. It's not just a name for a market day or a name of a day. It represents a spirit. According to what he told me, according to what the elders told me, this represents a spirit, 4 spirits that form the foundation of our tradition. Okay? Now, this is the exact thing that this brother teaches in his videos, and you'll see there. For those of you who will take time to look at it, you'll see it there. Now, the brother went on to say that apart from these 4 days, we also have 7 spirits, and these 7 spirits are reflected in different activities, in different actions in Igbo culture. All these things he said, I confirmed from the elders I went to discuss with, or in my community, in the communities around me. These people don't know YouTube. They don't see video. They are not from Imo State. This brother is actually from Imo State. So these people I asked are not from this. Is a totally different community. That is why I encourage each and every one of you, whenever you go, make out a time to go and meet an elder, a responsible elder, because we still have them, and let them tell you about our tradition. Just confirm or verify anything I'm saying here. I'm not telling you to just take it word for word. Just verify. Let's say the feast days on Mbolakoko, Ibankwa. The other day, my in-law was telling me my child was doing a homework, and they asked him to mention the feast days in Igbo tradition, in his tradition, which is Igbo. And he asked my in-law while I was at home. And my in-law mentioned, oh, Ikonkwa is the first tradition, which is very, my wife and my wife are not from the same state. But right there, my in-law mentioned the Ibankwa tradition, which we have as one of the feasts we have. And that Ibankwa is what you call Passover today. I don't know what Passover means, but Ibankwa means to celebrate the promise. That's what it means. That's the real name of the feast. But anyway, back to the discussion today. This brother mentioned 7 spirits in Igbo tradition that that is part of everyday activities of an Igbo community. These are the name of this spirit. And brothers and sisters, like I said, anything that is practiced Igbo worldwide is from the Most High. That's all. These spirits I'll mention now, these names I'll mention now, every Igbo community will either have a family that bears that name or an item that is represented by that name. Let me mention it. The first one is Agu. The second one is Ngu. The next one is Ngene, followed by Njoko, followed by Ojuku. The Ojuku, there are other names in my community. They call it Achiku, right? Then followed by Enu and Ana. That is heaven and earth. These are the 7 spirits that is part of Igbo mysticism. Children of God, these things I mentioned now, anybody that hear me will say, okay, I'm going out of scripture. I'm not talking about scriptures. Just hang on. I will show you where these things are in the scriptures. Because they are in the scripture. You see, it's only when you have read the scriptures and you understand the tradition. When you see it in the scripture, you say, no, we have this. This is our thing. That's exactly what Olaodekwonu did. When he knew the Igbo tradition, and when he was reading the Bible, he said, no, this is us. So if you've not read the scripture or you don't understand the tradition, you will hear it and you will not know. I have a friend of mine that is from Item, and I gave him the Bible verse that mentioned Item, and he was just reading it without. I said, look, this is your village, this is your community. But anyway, these are the 7 spirits, the names of these 7 spirits in Igbo tradition: Agu, Ngu, Ngene, Njoku, Ojuku, Enu, and Ana. Let me explain it. Agu, everybody that is Igbo knows what Agu is. When you say Ilo Agu, Ilo Agu means to find out what is disturbing someone. It's like to diagnosis on somebody's life, on somebody's destiny. That's what the spirit Agu is. There are those who serve Agu in different communities. Every community have 1 or 2 person that stands for Agu for them. In some communities they call them Osu Agu. These are not ordinary Osu people. These are people that are in charge of the Agu in the community. Then you have Ungu. My father used to tell me that when he was young, almost every compound in the village has a tree called Ungu tree. Okay, it signifies something. Almost every community, every compound has a tree, the Ungu tree. Ungu is part of the Ikenga, the strength of the family, the compound you're stepping into. The next one is Ngene. Every Igbo person knows what Ngene is. Ngene is the spirit that represents water. Ngene is also the spirit that represents humility, kind of the underdog. Okay, that's why they say Abalusi Ngene, Ekulu Ngene. Ngene is the spirit that represents the water, the stream, the water that replenishes life, the water that is inevitable in everybody's life. Every Igbo community knows what Ngene is. It is from the Most High. It is not an Alusi. Brothers and sisters, it is from the Most High. It is not an Alusi. The next one is Njoku. Njoku, which community does not have a family that bears the name Njoku? Do you know any community that does not have one family that bears the name Njoku? You bear the name Njoku because that is the spirit that your family manifests. The name Njoku is consistent in every Igbo community. It's Igbo worldwide, Ozulumbono. That is why it is from the Most High. It is one of these 7 spirits that represents the activities of the Igbo community. And I will show you where it is in the scriptures. The next one is Ojuku. Ojuku or Achiku in some communities is a spirit that represents valor, strength, vigor. And then the next one is heaven and earth, Enunana, the spirit that represents heaven and the spirit that represents the earth itself. It's a spirit in Igbo land. There are spirits that represent these things, and we have these 7 spirits in our culture. I saw this in this brother's teaching. I verified it from our ancestors, and I also recognized it when I saw it in the scripture. Now, children of the Most High, let me walk you through the scriptures where these things are. Okay, now, brothers and sisters, we're going to the scriptures. For us to understand the mysticism, the mysteries of the creation of the planet, of this earth, you have to go. You are not going to the Bible, you are going to the book of Enoch. So we are going to the book of Enoch. Now, let me take you to the scriptures, the book of Enoch, and show you where these spirits I mentioned are mentioned in the scriptures. The first thing I said, brothers and sisters, is that about the 4 market days. And I verified, after I heard this brother say it, that the 4 market days represent the 4 spirits that make up the foundation of our universe. the foundation of the creation of this world. That is what I was told by the ancestors. That's what this brother said exactly. This brother, I'm not sure he knows anything about the book of Enoch. I'll take you to the book of Enoch and show you where it is. But before I do that, let us look at etymology. If for those of you who have been following my videos, if you look at the word, I always talk about etymology. That means how a word is pronounced, what constitutes the pronunciation of a word. In Igbo language, the word for day, let's say today, if today is Eke day, right? The word for day is Ubo, Chi, Eke. These are three words. Ubo. Ubo means the awaken, like if you've woken up from sleep, Ebola Chi or something like that. They say Ubo means waking up or rising up. The next word is Chi. Chi represents a god, a spirit. And then the name of that spirit is Eke. So even there in Igbo words, Igbo etymology, you understand that these 4 days are not just market days, they are not commerce alone. They represent spirits. Okay? So Ubo Chi Eke, Ubo Chi Oye, Ubo Chi Afo. That it tells you that these are spirits. These are spirits represented in these days. Okay, now I know that when I mention the word spirit, I tend to put people off, because whenever you hear spirit, people don't say, evil spirit. But when you say angel, they say, oh yeah, that looks like it's from God. I mean, these are all the nonsense we got from Christianity. The truth of the matter is that this whole world is filled with spirits. Okay, the Most High created spirit to attach to everything He created. Spirit is what gives people life, and that's why in the Bible, the Most High, in the book of Enoch, the Most High is called the God of spirits. Go and look at the book of Enoch chapter 10. Go and look at Enoch chapter 39, Enoch chapter 40. These are all, the Most High is mentioned as the God of spirits, that He filled the world with spirit. Let me look it up here and show you. So let's go to Enoch chapter 39, for instance. In verse 7, it says, "And I saw his dwelling place under the wings of the Lord of spirits." In another verse 7, there are 2 verse 7s in this Enoch chapter 39. It says, "The righteous and all the righteous and elect ones before him shall be as bright as fiery light, and their mouth shall be full of blessings, and their lips shall praise the name of the Lord of spirits." Again, you go over again to Enoch chapter 40 in verse 2. It says, Enoch chapter 40 verse 2, it says, "And I saw a multitude beyond number and reckoning, who stood before the Lord of spirits." So if you go to verse 6 of Enoch chapter 40, the same thing. And pray earnestly in the name of the Lord of spirits. So the Most High is actually called by Enoch, the only man to go to heaven alone. He didn't die. The Most High took him. Okay, and okay, not the only man, but the first person actually. The other one was Elijah. So he called the Most High the God of spirits. So that's why I don't know, we've been conditioned to see spirit as something evil, but this is what the Most High filled. That's how the Most High communicates with His creation. He communicates with your spirit. That's the spirit He has put in you. That's basically how He communicates with you, with your spirit. And not only you, everything, even if you read the book of Enoch, it will tell you that even things, minerals that are mined from the earth, even petroleum, crude oil, cadmium, borite, whatever you mine from, all these have spirits. They have angels, they have spirits that oversee them. All these things are mentioned in the book of Enoch. We stay away from this book of Enoch and we view these things as inanimate objects, but they have spirit. And even us, that's how they desensitize you from letting you know that you're humans. That's why you go to school, they teach you in biology that you're an animal, which is ridiculous. So let's get back on track here. The first thing I talked about was the 4 market days, and I said that these 4 market days represent the 4 spirits that make up the foundation of our universe. Brothers and sisters, when I was told this by our ancients of days, after I saw this from this brother, I went and discussed with our Ancient of Days, and they told me that they confirmed that these 4 market days represents the 4 spirits that make up the foundation of earth, the pillars of this earth. First of all, Igbo mysticism believes that the earth has a pillar, a foundation, and that the foundation is 4. 4. Where did I see this before? I have seen this before in the book of Enoch. Let me take you to the book of Enoch. Brothers and sisters, please open up the book of Enoch chapter 18. Let me read it for you. He said, and I saw the storehouse of all the winds. I saw how he has adorned the whole creation with them, and the firm foundations of the earth. Brothers and sisters, Enoch chapter 18 verse 1, Enoch is saying that the whole creation is filled with the wind. The wind is covering the whole creation, and it has adorned them with the firm foundation of the earth. I don't know what they are teaching you, that we live on a globe that is traveling at 99,000 miles per hour. Don't believe that nonsense. So we live in a firm planet. Even scientists today will tell you that our planet is not moving anywhere. Okay, if you go out today and look at the sky, the same stars you see today, that's the one you saw yesterday, that's the one you see tomorrow. We are not moving anywhere. Our planet is fixed. Enoch said it here. Now in verse 2 he says, and I saw the cornerstone of the earth. I saw the 4 winds which support the earth, and the firmament of the heaven. Do you see that, brothers and sisters? I saw the foundation of the earth, the 4 winds, the 4 foundations that support the earth and the heaven. Enoch saw this. Okay, and I saw how the winds stretch out the height of heaven and have the station between the heaven and the earth. These are the pillars of the heaven. Okay, so brothers and sisters, the 4 market days represent the 4 foundation of our tradition, of our earth, of our creation. This I was told by the ancestors, and you can see it clearly in the book of Enoch, that the earth is held up by 4 spirits. Also, if you look at the Bible also mentioned the foundation of the earth. Go and read Psalm 104 verse 5. Go and read the book of Job. The book of Job chapter 38, I think in verse 4. It talks about the foundation of the earth. It's in the book of Enoch that you see that there are 4 foundations. There are 4 of them. And that is what these 4 market days represent in Igbo. Anything relating to our tradition points to these 4 market days that are representing the spirits that surround our earth. Unfortunately, today our community is saturated with elders that don't know anything. People like us that are growing up not knowing anything about our tradition. That's the problem. We're growing up, we've disregarded the works of our ancestors, and that's why we think that our ancestors did not know this, that they did not know that the earth has a foundation. But they did know that, and some of them that still know these things, they are still alive till today, and they can tell you that. And that's what's represented by the 4 market days in Igbo land. Brothers and sisters, earlier I mentioned that there are 7 spirits in Igbo tradition that represent different things in Igbo tradition. These spirits can be found, the names of these spirits can be found in everything we do, in the names we bear. Names such as Njoku, Ojuku, Ago, Ngu, Ngene, Enu, Ana. These are the names of the 7 spirits in Igbo tradition. And I've said, Igbo tradition, if you understand these things, Igbo tradition is biblical. It's everything in the Bible. You just need to understand it beyond what you're told in Christian churches. Okay, now there are so many mention of the 7 spirits of the Most High in the Bible. For instance, in the book of Revelations, in chapter 1, they talk about the 7 churches and the angels that that are with these 7 churches. Brothers and sisters, these are not churches, okay? These are just spirits that represent the Most High. Okay, as at the time that the book of Revelation was written, there were more churches in more communities than 7. So it's not talking about physical churches. Okay, that's number one. Also in the book of Revelation chapter 3, Revelation chapter 5, you will see mention of these 7 spirits of the Most High. Okay, now it's also in the Old Testament, right? You see mention of these 7 spirits of the Most High. Let's look at it here. In the book of Isaiah chapter 11, right, it talks about the spirits of the Most High, and he mentioned them. And if you count them, there are about 7 of them. The book of Isaiah did not mention the names of these spirits, because these prophets, when they wrote presupposing that we already know this. Okay, so the book of Isaiah did not mention the names of the spirit, but I'll show you the names of the spirits. I'll show you. So what I want you to pick out from here is that in Igbo tradition it talks about 7 spirits. In the Bible you hear the same thing. So people who don't understand Igbo tradition, they will not know that these things are in the Bible. If you're telling them, look, our tradition is the Bible, they will be telling, but I did not see Jesus there. I did not see Mary there. They don't know that these names are just fabrications. These names they are just fabrication. Jesus, for instance, is Zeus. That's what it means. Jesus means son of Zeus. Okay. But then we are not all brain dead. There are those of us who are waking up and those who know what they're talking about. Alright, so let's go to the book of Enoch. In the book of Enoch, brothers and sisters, Enoch, when he was taken to the heavenly realm, he was communicating with a number of angels, a number of spirits. Okay, and those angels were the ones showing him around. Later on, in the book of Enoch chapter 20, he gave us the names and responsibilities of these angels. Brothers and sisters, how many are these angels? 7. Oh, there are 7. These are 7 spirits. Just like we have them, we know the spirits in Igbo tradition. We know them. In the book of Enoch chapter 20, he said, these are the name of the holy angels who watch. The angels, the spirits that the Most High has created to watch over the affairs of this planet. There are 7 of them. And Enoch goes ahead to mention their name. One of them, of course, is Uriah, which if you read the book of Enoch, is written Uriel. So I'll read it the way it's written, but most of you who watch my videos know that I will not pronounce Uriel, because I don't worship El, and Enoch did not worship El. It is Uriah. But for simplicity, I'll read it the way it is written. It says, number 1 is, it said, Enoch chapter 20 verse 1, it said, these are the names of the holy angels who watch. Uriel, one of the holy angels, who is over the world turmoil and terror. Raphael, one of the holy angels, Raguel, Michael, Saragel, Gabriel, Ramiel. These are 7 angels. And he went forward to explain what they do, the work they do. Okay? So, for instance, if you look at the Gabriel, right? He said Gabriel is one of the holy angels who is over paradise. Okay? That is the spirit that we call Enu in Igbo tradition. Enu, that is the spirit that is over the heavens. If you look at the Uriel, he said Uriel is the spirit of communication that was telling Enoch everything about the heavenly realm. That is what we call Agu in Igbo tradition. This brother, when I was listening to this video, he said Agu is the spirit that tells you, it gives you information that you need to know. Tells you what you are supposed to be doing, what your responsibility is. That's exactly the same thing that Uriel is responsible for in the book of Enoch. Yes, I know. The names are not the same. I know. In the scriptures, you hear names. The names are Uriah or Uriel or Gabriel or Raphael or Michael or Micaiah, as I will preferably call it. But in Igbo, I'm talking about Agu, Ngu, Ojuku, Njoku, Inu, and well, yes, I know. Now, people that will say this are people that have not really researched how the Bible was written. They've not really spent time to look at it. The way the Bible was written, it's an interpretation. It's an interpretation. If you look at my video on the true name of the Most High, I said this is how the name of the Most High was interpreted, because the people who are interpreting it don't understand the language. So they are interpreting. It's not the Jews. The Jews are just forming what they are from. The language they are speaking is Yiddish. It has nothing to do with the original Hebrew. The original Hebrew is the original Igbo language. Whether you believe it or not is irrelevant. That's the truth. The truth does not depend on your belief system. So what the name you're saying, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Sarah Girl, these are interpretations. The real names in our community is Agu, Ngu, Ojuku, Njoku. These are the 7 spirits, or what you call angels, that watch. And they manifest in different families in different forms. Okay. So what I want you to take out here is that the number, they are the same. We have four spirits that form the foundation of the earth. That's in our tradition, and that's also in scriptures. And then you have the 7 spirits. The name itself, no, that name, the interpretation of those names, you can't really stand behind them. Okay. So you see it clearly. Again, and that's why it took me a while to do this video, because I need to understand how to communicate it to people. People who do not understand the mysteries of creation will not understand what I'm saying. If you've not taken time to really look at this thing, you will not understand it. And if I see a reflection of that in the comment, I'll probably not waste my time addressing that. I know for people to begin to understand it, they need to be interested. Number one, they need to be interested. Because of the way we've been educated, most people are really not interested in this kind of thing, and that's fine. Whatever piques your interest, that's fine. Okay, it's no longer time to spoon feed people. But what I'm saying here clearly, brothers and sisters, if there's any message you're going to take from this, the scriptures mention 4 spirits that make up the foundation of the earth. In Igbo tradition, we have those 4 spirits, and they make up the foundation of our tradition. And what I'm trying to explain here is that those 4 are not just market dates. I used to think that, but they represent spirit. Just the way we say them, you know that they represent spirits. And if you ask anybody who is a DBA or who is well grounded in our tradition, they'll tell you that these things are spirits. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, I also mentioned that there are 7 spirits. The scripture mentioned there are 7 spirits of the Most High who stand in the presence of the Most High, and they perform different functions. In fact, the book of Enoch said that they watch over the activities of men. In Igbo land, we also recognize these 7 spirits. Okay, and I gave you the name and function of these 7 spirits. The names and function in Igbo land. And some of these functions can be similar to what the book of Enoch described that they do. Okay, so that's the information I want you to take here. I know that it takes some kind of understanding. I pray that the Most High will help our people to understand this. But again, my channel is filled with proof that we are the people of the Bible. I've stated this over and over again, and I will keep stating them, because there are generations that will come to see my video, and when they do, they will know that this is our tradition. And there are people who write me emails, and they have gone to ask questions in the villages, and they've confirmed some of the things I'm saying. And I bless the name of the Most High for these people, and I encourage each and every one of you to do the same thing. Also, let me talk about this brother again. This is These are people that we should encourage. If there are any ways you can encourage this brother, his number is on public domain. You can call him and encourage him, because we need people like this. This is what we as a people need. May the Most High bless you. So now.